Khuddaka Nikāya, the Minor Collection Discourses, Sutta Nipāta, Uragavagga, Sutta number 1.7, Vasala Sutta, the Outcaste. I have personally heard this. At one time, the Blessed One was living at the monastery donated by Anathapindika at Jeta's Park in the city of Savatthi. Then, when it was already morning, having put on his robes and taking his outer robe, an alms bowl, the Blessed One went on his alms round by walking through the streets of Savatthi. Meanwhile, the sacrificial fire kept burning at the house of Bharadvaja, the fire-worshipping Brahmin, where offerings were being made as he performed the fire sacrifice. Then, on seeing the Blessed One approach from a distance, Bharadvaja, the fire-worshipping Brahmin, began yelling, "You! Stop there, bald-headed recluse! You wretched outcast! Stop it! Don't approach any further!" When this was said, the Blessed One replied by asking Bharadvaja, the fire-worshipping Brahmin, "O Brahmin, do you know an outcast when you see one, or the qualities that make one an outcast?" Then Bharadvaja, the fire-worshipping Brahmin, pausing to consider the question, replied to the Blessed One by saying, "Master Gautama, I do not know an outcast, nor the qualities that make one an outcast. Perhaps it would be good if you could explain to us who an outcast is, and what the qualities that make one an outcast are." "Well then, Brahmin, now listen closely and pay attention, and I will explain." "Yes, sir," said Bharadvaja, the fire-worshipping Brahmin. And the Blessed One continued instructing him in verse. "If a man is angry, with hostility in his heart, full of evil intent while being contentious, hypocritical and deceitful, lost in wrong views, such a person is known to be an outcast. Intending to harm living beings, whether those born through a womb or hatched through an egg. The one who has no compassion in his heart for things that breathe, such a person is known to be an outcast. Killing and robbing, terrorizing people wherever he meets them, whether in towns or cities, known to all as a tormenting oppressor, lacking any compassion, such a person is known to be an outcast. Whether in public or in private, while not being offered, the one who takes things that are cherished by others, taking what is not freely given to him, such a person is known to be an outcast. Having borrowed money from those who trusted him, when they come calling for him to repay his debt or offer them a helping hand, he runs away, or even worse, denies ever owing them anything. Such a person is known to be an outcast. Whether in plain sight or in the middle of the street, if he desires something of little material value, even from a recluse gone into seclusion, he would strike and kill them and take it. Such a person is known to be an outcast. When asked to testify by bearing witness, instead of telling the truth, if he lies, whether for his own gain or for someone else's, or for the sake of some advantage or for wealth, such a person is known to be an outcast. The one who engages in sexual acts with the wives of others, be they his relatives or his friends' mates, no matter if it is by their consent or through seducing them, such a person is known to be an outcast. Although having the means, the one who does not support his mother and father who need him, and by not looking after them, now that they are old and long past their prime, such a person is known to be an outcast. Whoever strikes or verbally abuses his mother or father, his brother or sister, or even his mother-in-law, such a person is known to be an outcast. When asked for advice or to teach what is useful and essential, while trying to hide his ignorance, he answers by talking about what is useless and unessential. Avoiding questions and using roundabout ways of deflecting, attacking the questioner instead, such a person is known to be an outcast. While behaving in unwholesome ways, he tries to hide and conceal his actions, engaging in secretive deeds. Such a person is known to be an outcast. Whereas he enjoys going to others' homes and eating their delicious food, when it is his turn to be hospitable and generous, he becomes stingy and refuses to honor those who visit his home. Such a person is known to be an outcast. If a person deceives a noble disciple, or a recluse, or even an ascetic from another sect, such a person is known to be an outcast. When, at the appropriate mealtime, recluses and ascetics come to receive their alms food, instead of offering them food, he scolds and verbally abuses them. Such a person is known to be an outcast. Being ignorant and entirely shrouded by his own delusion, the one who gets overexcited as he rambles on about things that have never happened, such a person is known to be an outcast. The one who enjoys praising and talking about himself, but while putting down and disparaging others, driven by nothing other than his own conceit, such a person is known to be an outcast. The one with contention in his heart, always angry and avaricious, desiring to do evil, deceitful, and having no remorse or shame for his actions, such a person is known to be an outcast. When the person tries insulting and abusing the Buddha or any of his disciples, whether those who have gone forth or lay followers, such a person is known to be an outcast. Although having no attainments at all, whoever pretends to be an arahant by deceiving himself or others, thus remaining a thief and a lowlife, both in this and in the Brahma world, he indeed is the lowest of outcasts. Therefore, I declare all these to be outcasts. So you see, it is not through birth that one becomes an outcast, and it is not through one's birth that one becomes noble either. It is through one's own actions that one becomes an outcast. It is indeed through one's own intentional actions that one becomes noble as well. Here, it would serve you well to know the example of Sopaka, the son of an outcast named Chandala, who came to be known as Matanga. In time, this Matanga became famous by achieving what is difficult to attain, obtaining a reputation that is hard to gain, where even many Khattiya warriors from royal families, as well as Brahmins, all came to honor, respect, and serve him. for he set out on the divine and stainless path, leading to heavenly rebirth, as he gave up sensual desire and reappeared in the realm of Brahma gods. Thus, his low caste, while born a human being, did not prevent him from attaining rebirth as a Brahma god. Although Brahmins born in families are seen as belonging to the highest class in society, where they are known as the reciters of the Vedas and their incantations, nevertheless, they are discovered to be no more than mere outcasts, drowning in their evil and unwholesome actions and behaviors. In this way, they remain blameworthy, both in this life and in the ones to follow, as they find themselves being reborn in one miserable realm after another. Thus, their high caste, while born as human beings, did not prevent them from blame, but especially from being reborn in the realms of misery, even in the hells. So you see, it is not through birth that one becomes an outcast, and it is not through one's birth that one becomes noble either. It is through one's own actions that one becomes an outcast. It is indeed through one's own intentional actions that one becomes noble as well. When this was said, Bharadvaja, the fire-worshipping Brahmin, exclaimed to the Blessed One, "It is magnificent, Master Gautama. This is excellent, Bhante. The Blessed One has made the Dhamma clear for me in many ways, as though he were to turn upright what was turned upside down, revealing to me what was hidden, showing the way to one who was lost, holding up a lamp in the dark for those with eyesight to see. I go to the Blessed One as my refuge, and to the Dhamma, and to the Sangha of bhikkhus. From this day forward, may the Blessed One remember me as a lay disciple who has taken refuge in him until the end of life." Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.